Okay, here we are. Almost 4th of July. So I guess we're ready to get back to work on this thing. So I've decided to paint his shirt this wine color here. It's actually not quite dark as wine, but it's a nice color. Let's see what it's called here. Cinnamon semi-opaque, okay? And then we'll paint his shirt black or a very dark color. We've got his underwear, which will be...
Correction.
Hmm?
Shirt is the cinnamon. The vest is the black.
That's what I said.
You said the shirt.
Cinnamon shirt. Black
Vest.
vest.
Okay.
Underwear. It's going to be kind of a tan underwear. What the heck's the color? Country twill. This is mud. Mudstone, that's a good color, but it's got some black in it. I don't like that. That's khaki. That'd be a good one. We'll just have to wait to see. Here's another one. Desert sand. Here's another one. Vanilla tostada. God. And here's a light one. Antique white. We'll just have to wait. Whoops, there's another one. What is this one? Sandbox. Here you go. It's amazing. I didn't know Chinese had so many words for colors. Okay, so much for that. Let's take his head off. Put him back over here. And guess what I found? A spray bottle that actually works. This is back in the days when Judy and I still had our horses. And the only trouble is it leaks up around here, so when I spray, I end up getting water all over my hands. But at least it works. Yeah, I'll show you. But also, look here, this is this old piece of crap I was using. I fixed it. So, I got spray bottles. Well, you know, I got lots of spray bottles. There's a spot I missed. Okay. If you're wondering why this is lighter than that there, is because these two pieces are joined together. I was short of thick wood, so that's what happened there. And it's still not good and wet.
And the shirt down below. Not wet at all.
Oh, I didn't want to show that. That's where I made that mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's nice having someone sitting behind you telling you what your mistakes are. And what.
I did not.
Hope I have enough of this. Here it comes out. It's been a while. It's about ready to hit the trash can. Some of this paint's been around here for quite a while, but I think there's enough in there to work for me. Take my glasses off, switch to my glasses, put on my paint glasses. I think I told you all once before on a video that I had one of those head things, you know, that goes around. Probably it's up there in the closet with the magnifier on it and everything. I tried that, but then I went down to Walmart and bought me some reading glasses. $5 wheat reading glasses. Magnification. I think they go from about 3 different sizes of magnification, and they work just as good and certainly much more comfortable. So that's what I use. Wasting my money on some fancy gizmo. There's that point. See how I did that? Just slid it right back in there. Like that. Well, there's a little spot that I'm not going to be concerned if I go over the black area, but I don't want to get it on the... Okay. Anyway, I put the first one up, first segment of this thing up on the YouTube, the internet, yesterday afternoon. But it was a hot day and I was spent outside doing other stuff. I was tired, so I went in and sat down in front of the TV and took a nap. Got up this morning to go do the blog post and had over 3 different people had already checked out the video. So then I did the blog post, so a lot of you jumped the gun, which I don't mind, I don't care. But you got to remember, if you're going to jump it early, you might miss out on something important, like my comments on my blog. Sometimes they're pretty good comments. I'd even tell a joke occasionally. I'm just painting around all the areas where the color separations are. With a smaller brush. And I'm putting on pretty straight paint, not so much of wash on the shirt because I want the colors pretty strong. Before I came down here this morning, right, just a while ago, I was on the internet doing an image search to get some ideas on paint, what colors to use to paint the shirt. So I just put chuck wagon cooks in my Google search and popped up all these chuck wagon cooks. And then I got kind of homesick not homesick, just kind of weepy-eyed because it reminded me so much about our old days of having our chuck wagon and the fun we had with it cooking. It was fun, a lot of work, which is why we gave it up, because we were just getting too old to load that heavy thing onto a trailer and haul it off somewhere to do demonstration cooking or whatever. So we gave it away. Donated it to the Wool Rock Museum up in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, up northwest of us here. So now, even though we don't own it anymore, it went to a good home because it's prominently displayed, and we can go up and see it anytime we want to, and we do that quite often because it's sitting right next to. They built a complete display for it. It was really nice. I mean, it's a better display than you'll see down at the National Cowboy Museum in Oklahoma City. And the chuck wagon's certainly better, more authentic than that one they have down there. Of course, chuck wagons come in all configurations. I shouldn't say it's more authentic. To me, it's more authentic. Okay? It's a trail wagon. It's got thin rims on the wheels. That makes it a trail wagon. If the rims were thick, it was just a farm wagon. Nice color. I don't know why I went and spent so much time outlining that, because I have to paint this. Oops. A little blip there. I don't have a piece of, I'm just going to erase some color here. There's another one. I'm going to get me a piece of towel here. I won't get it all, but I'll get enough of it to where when I paint over it, it's not going to show. Mistakes do happen around here. No, it's not really a mistake. Judy's trying to keep up with me, moving this thing around. Someone sent me a note, asked me where did I get my paper here. Did I get it down the Hobby Lobby? Trying to think where I got it. Anyway, it's just a piece of paper. I use old, those big calendars you can buy. It's got.
What was a desk blotter?
Yeah, a desk blotter. Desk blotters, you put a name on something like that, it costs more. I bought me a big roll of wrapping paper years ago that I use when I mail carvings for people. I just tear off a bunch of pieces this size and slip it into an old desk blotter that I bought a long time ago. And that gives me a area where I can wipe my brush out, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, we're getting there. So I'll give Judy a break and paint this on, and she can turn off that camera for a while. Okay, got the shirt all painted. Now we're going to kind of detail it a little more. Just like the cuffs down here, when you flip over your denim jeans and you look at the inside, how light, a lighter color it is because of the way they weave it. We're going to do the same thing here on his shirt because the same thing happens here. Wide in there. See, that just adds a little bit more to it. It might be a caricature, but we want to make sure that the clothes he wears are as authentic as the clothes a real one would wear. Just a little extra step that makes the carving that much better. I've already had several inquire if this piece is going to be up for sale. Well, with the COVID thing over the last couple of years and all this other stuff, my interest in carving took a dive. I'm sure you guys feel the same. It was just disgusting how, because some idiot in another country, or a bunch of idiots in another country, can just screw things up for everybody. Wood carving shows have just disappeared. It's disgusting. And because it's disgusting, I just sort of lost interest in wood carving for heck, over a year. I mean, it's the worst block I've had ever. And I'm just now starting to come out of it. And you know, when those things happen, you take a vacation, excuse me, from what you do. You forget things. And a lot of ways I've had to learn things over again. I just don't carve like I used to at all. I hate to say it, but I mean, it really had an effect on my desire to carve and everything. Anyway, okay, so we got that done. Now, paint on my brush here as much as possible. Pick up some white. For his elbows. Get to where I could have carved patches on there, I guess, to indicate that, but I didn't do that. And because he has a big belly, I'll put some on here. just a little bit to show there's some wear there. Not so much back here in the back, but he'd certainly have it up front. Look at that, look at that. Got a bug on there crawling around. Now that's a finnick, wouldn't it be? You can imagine the bugs out there in the prairie where this guy's working. Little around where he looks good. Okay. Now for the black. I don't know if this is going to be too strong. We're just going to have to wait and see. Let me just clean up my thing here a little. Get me another towel here for future mistakes. Okay. Licorice. Not black. Licorice. Gotta hold my breath while I'm doing it. And I see a mistake I made. And I'm going to have to correct it real quick here before I go much further. So Judy can turn the camera off and I'll fix things. What happened wasn't a mistake, it just forgot something. Show you here in a minute. I got half of it correct, but then forgot the big part. which is right there. That burn line right there. When a vest is made, generally, that's where they cut the cloth, right back there where that burn line is. So either sew another piece together there, the same color, or put a different color there. I like to put a different color there. Just makes it figure look classier and gives the chuck wagon cook a little dash, you know, extra pizzazz that he liked. He was proud of how he looked. So that's what that little line signifies. Because this one back here, see, I got the line up here, but I forgot that line back there, where it breaks right there. So I'll put a different color back there. I like to put what's the word? Iridescent, using iridescent paint. You can make it look like it's silk instead of cotton. Gives him a little pizzazz. Whoops, got some black there on his neckerchief. Not to worry. Did I tell him about Jackrabbit? I don't think so. You're probably wondering what the word jackrabbit means. Well, you can keep wondering because I'm not going to tell you till later on. You got to remember that point. You want to paint with that point, because if you try to paint without that point, you're going to end up slopping it over into the other areas. So by using that point, it's just like the tip of a well-sharpened pencil. If you keep your brush loaded, that's how it works. Makes it a lot easier. Oh, shit. Just did the same damn thing again. Well, it's black paint too. It can be corrected, but it's just more work because I forgot. A learning experience for the viewer, a pain in the butt for me. letting my air out. That looks pretty good except for that. Alright, we're just going to have to let that sit a while. Now for the underwear. I think I'll use this darker tan, if I have any in there. Got a little bit. I think I'll paint out of the cap. This is Country Twill. Now everybody's probably thinking, well, gee, I always thought long underwear was red. Well, not necessarily. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and finish this, and then Judy can take a break while I do the other one. Put a little white on there. This will indicate wear at the edge. At least up there. Not much, just a little. Okay? Alright, I'll let Judy take a break and I'll go ahead and do that other one. Okay, we got his vest painted. So, painted a little too much there. Okay, I have in my hand here a color titled Avocado. It's sort of a forest green. Squeeze out some here, and I can't even do that because I haven't used this color for ages. You can see by how dry it is. So what I'm going to do is just scoop out some here. Hopefully it'll be enough. Get some more in here. Definitely don't want to run out of paint. Little fuzz right there. That was caused by my flap sander. Every once in a while I'll hit the wheel instead of the sandpaper, and it'll scuff the wood surface. You're probably wondering, what the hell is he doing? Well, I'll show you here in a minute. be that I don't have enough paint out. See if I can keep from painting the scarf. Don't want it black on one side and green on the other. I'm going to have to get me some more paint. Avocado. I'll just leave that open in case you need to get in there again. See a couple of little tags I need to get rid of up there, right there. See them hanging back in there? Anyway, we had a lot of fun when we had that chuck wagon. Made some good food. Pies, biscuits, all sorts of stuff. And now it sits in Little Rock Museum. You ever up there and near Bartlesville, Oklahoma? It's not far from there, one of the best museums in the United States. You'll see in my carvings, my chuck wagon scenes there, right next to the chuck wagon, and my stagecoach hold-up scenes right next to the big stagecoach. My saloon scenes downstairs, along with my medicine show scene. What?
Saloon.
Oh, the saloon? Yeah, it's down there. Didn't I say the saloon? Okay, got that painted green. Now, to make that silk, put that away. I have here a tube of paint I bought years and years and years ago. This is Interference Green. And what it is, it's an iridescent paint. It looks like white, but it's actually green. And I'm going to squeeze me out just a little of it because it don't take a lot. And I have another one up here. This one's called Rich Copper. Pretty color. And between these two colors, boy, you can make some pretty fancy looking backs of vests and things. If you ever want to make a silk shirt or something like that. It shows up more on this side because it's dry. This might take a couple coats, but we'll get there. And I'm going to take my blue shouldn't take much of it. Kind of hit the shadows. To blend that together. Looks good. See, it gives it kind of a shiny, iridescent look to it. Just makes it look snappy. Put a little down here on the bottom. Looks good. Now, give Judy a break again. So what do you do when you make a mistake with paint on an area you don't want, wasn't supposed to go to? Well, there's only one color which will allow you to overpaint it without the color underneath coming back through. And that's especially important when you use colors like red. Red is a terrible color to try to cover up. And if you don't have the right color for it, you're never going to cover it up. that color is gray. And that's what I'm going to use. I don't want to, Judy asks, are you going to carve that off? And I said, no. If I carved it off, I'd take off too much material, and then it wouldn't look right. So what I can do is I can paint it gray. And that will help me hide that other paint. I might have to double coat it, you know, the top color. What was that? Heard something go pop. But at least it's going to allow me to correct what I did wrong. And I will just sort of bleed this out here. Like that. You know, I might just go ahead and paint the whole thing gray. So I'll do this. Judy doesn't need to film that. Okay, we're back. As you can see, I've gone ahead and painted his neckerchief. Judy had to go up and let the dog out. By the time she got back, I was done. I used some asphaltum to give it some shadow lines in his neckerchief there. So he's looking pretty good. And now that the wood is dried, you can see the sheen come off of the silk. Don't that look snappy? Like that. I love things like that. Wait till he gets his gold watch band going into his watch. That's not going to show up yet until I dry brush it. But there's a little ridge around there which will show up when it's dry brushed. Okay. I went ahead and painted his buttons. Clean up a little too much paint on there. Gave him a little button up top here where his long johns show through up there. So in the next video, I know everybody's wondering what's going to go on the front of the apron. Well, you're going to have to wait. We still got a big head to do. Just hiding back here. So he's starting to look pretty good. So that's going to do it for this video. So until the next segment, I'll talk to you later.